story. So his first one, terminal engine. The second one, they angle grinded part of the front end away to fit the winch, and they cut through the wiring loop, which Land Rover then said wasn't replaceable. So now he's having to have another one.
How can they be so stupid? And why do they have to cut through part of the vehicle in order to fit a winch?
And there's a lot of YouTubers saying actually that's probably absolute fault, because they were giving him obviously the second vehicle. What the deal with Land Rover would be on that is anybody's guess, but the chances are they've got a perfect Land Rover in stock and somebody came along and offered a bit more money than the usual retail to have it quickly, and so they've sold it basically.
Yeah.
And the old grinding through the wiring loop is just a story to put him off the scent that they've sold the vehicle they were told him he was having. And so now they've ordered another one, but they won't get it in the colour that he wanted.
What do you mean they won't get it in the colour that he wanted? So he's a paying customer and they won't give him the car that he wants?
Well, in their eyes now he's not paying, is he? Because they've got to give him one. So what he had originally was a white one, and then because he's a YouTuber, he wanted to make it, obvious that this was another car and that Land Rover had to replace it.
Yeah.
So he picked a blue one that they've now sold. Well, potentially they've cut through the wiring loom and they've told him it's irreplaceable and it can't be fixed. To which a lot of commenters are saying, well, there's your old white one with that wiring loom on, why don't I just take it off that, seeing as it's no good without an engine anyway. So
it does sound a bit farcical.
Now they've told him he's got to have a white one, and a lot of commenters are now saying, well, that's just Land Rover basically making it look like he's got the original car still, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because
he was wanting a different colour to make it obvious it wasn't the original car, and so they think Land Rover's trying to screw with him basically. And he's not a happy bunny, it has to be said.
Oh, 3 vehicles.
And he hasn't had 2 days use out of them yet.
I'd be livid.
And over a month in. And when you think you would order that, I think he said he ordered it in May, June time, and it took delivery in September. And since September, it really hasn't had more than 2 days use out of it, but he's out of it, best part of 2 months now.
Well, I suppose the a way of looking at it is this: it's bound to have broken anyway. So how much use could he have got out of it?
Well, it did break, that's the thing.
Well, when you buy a Range Rover, Land Rover or a Discovery, you know in the back of your head what you're buying is a liability.
Yeah, well, there's others out there that have got them, and one has bought one and he's just like absolutely pleased with it, no issues whatsoever. Had it 3 months and it's been perfect, and he's done quite a high mileage in it now. I think he's done about 6,000 miles in 3 months.
Wow.
And it's been spot on. And then there's another one Charlie drives. He's taken his to Spain and back, got some electronic niggles, took it back to the dealer, and they've pretty much sorted it. And while he's had it back at the dealers, they've loaned him another Land Rover, as a courtesy car. So he's always been in a Land Rover. This one in America, they don't seem to have even given him a loan car.
Or they've not given him a loan vehicle.
Doesn't seem to have.
I wouldn't pay them a penny until I got my car.
They are professional YouTubers who have obviously got a fleet of other cars, but I don't want to be saying, hang on a minute, I want a courtesy car. Or in their case, they bought the cheapest spec one they could, so it's literally base because they wanted to develop it for off-roading, so they wanted to do all their own enhancements. And so they did want a base vehicle because you don't want one with loads of goodies on it, because they'll just go wrong with off-roading. But it's still Land Rover or to cover the difference, I think is about 65. So it's like 10 grand difference to change your car basically. But they are adamant that they still want a Land Rover Defender because they want to cover this as, you know, it's going to make great content for their YouTube channel. This Land Rover that permanently breaks down, isn't it? It's like, you know, people will watch it, and the fact that they haven't even got a Land Rover but they're still making videos about it,
yeah,
and people are watching it, they're actually probably still making a fortune out of it even though they haven't got the vehicle.
There's a misconception that it's actually a Jaguar Land Rover that they're dealing with, isn't it? Because it's actually a dealership, which is a franchise.
Yeah, I think Land Rover UK have got involved with that one because it was such a major fail on the engine. So
it's an Ingham engine in that, isn't it? It's the one that's developed.
Engine, yeah, but it's the 2 litre, so it's the weakest of the engines. The one they're going to get now